All right, strap in, everybody. We are going deep on the Kybalion today.
Diving headfirst into Chapter 6.
That's right. The Divine Paradox.
It's a good one.
Yeah, get ready to have your minds blown wide open, folks, because we're going to be exploring the idea...
The idea that the universe...
Yeah, the universe, all of existence, might actually be...
More of a thought.
More of a thought than a thing.
It's wild, right?
It is wild. So glad to have you here to break this down for us, because I think we're going to need a guide.
I'll do my best. This ancient text is basically saying, hey, what if reality is more like a giant thought bubble than a brick wall?
Okay, so we're not literally living in someone's dream, right? I mean, I've seen Inception, and things got pretty messy there.
Yeah.
But the Kybalion is saying there's a deeper level to reality, something beyond what we see and touch.
Exactly. It's called the Principle of Mentalism, and it's like realizing the universe is running on code.
Okay.
Kind of like in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Suddenly you see the patterns, the possibility, the potential to, well, hack the system, so to speak.
Okay, so we're not literally plugging into the Matrix, but we are starting to see that maybe there's more to reality
Than meets the eye.
than meets the eye. All right. But here's where I get tripped up.
Okay.
If it's all mental,
Yeah.
does that mean physical laws don't matter?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just wish my bills away?
Huh. I wish it were that easy. The divine paradox is all about understanding that even though the universe is mental, we can't just bypass the physical rules of the game. It's more like we've been playing on easy mode, and now we're discovering there are all these hidden levels and cheat codes.
Okay, so it's not about ignoring reality.
Yeah.
It's about understanding it on a deeper level
Yeah.
and using that knowledge to navigate it more effectively.
You got it.
It's like learning the rules of a video game before you can start exploiting the glitches.
You got it. Think of it like this. You're playing Super Mario, and you're stuck on a tricky level. You keep dying, getting frustrated.
Happens to the best of us.
Right. But then you discover a hidden warp pipe that lets you skip ahead. You didn't break the game, you just found a more strategic way to play.
Okay, that makes sense. So instead of wishing my bills away, maybe I can use this principle of mentalism to manifest a raise.
Maybe, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Kybalion talks about using higher laws to work around the lower ones.
All right.
Think of it like this. You're facing a challenge. Maybe it's a financial issue, a relationship problem, or a creative block. The lower laws are those immediate reactive responses.
Okay.
Stress, fear, frustration. But the higher laws, those are about tapping into a different kind of energy. Creativity, resourcefulness, and a belief in your ability to overcome obstacles.
So it's like, instead of freaking out about the bills, I take a deep breath, brainstorm some new income streams, and trust that I'll find a way to make it work.
Now you're getting it. And that's where the concept of transmutation comes in.
Ooh, I like that.
Turning one thing into another, like some kind of cosmic alchemist. The Kybalion says that truly wise individuals can use their understanding of these higher laws to transform challenges into opportunities.
Okay, transmutation.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit like magic.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see how it could be a powerful tool.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of getting stuck in a negative situation, you find a way to turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
To use it as fuel for growth. Kind of like Tony Stark building the Iron Man suit while being held captive.
Exactly. He takes a dire situation and transforms it into his greatest strength. Or think of musicians like Beyonce or Kendrick Lamar. They channel their pain, their experiences, their struggles into powerful, transformative art. That's transmutation in action.
Okay, that's starting to click for me. It's not about ignoring the bad stuff.
You know.
It's about using it as raw material.
Right.
To create something better, something stronger.
Precisely. And this brings us to the heart of the divine paradox. The universe is mental, but we can't just ignore the physical laws. We have to work with them, to master them, to use them to our advantage. It's like understanding that a video game is just code, but still having to learn the controls and strategies to win.
So we can't just wish our way to success, but we can use our understanding of these higher laws to play the game more skillfully. It's about being strategic, resourceful, and finding those hidden warp pipes that lead to the next level.
Absolutely. And the Kybalion says that the truly wise individuals are the ones who understand this paradox and use it to their advantage. They don't deny the reality of challenges, they embrace them, transform them, and ultimately transcend them.
All right, my brain is officially in overdrive.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground here, but I can tell there's still so much more to explore. I'm starting to see how the Kybalion offers a whole new way of looking at reality.
Yeah.
But how do we actually put this into practice? How do we tap into these higher laws and start vibrating on a different level?
Those are the million-dollar questions. We're going to unpack those next. Get ready for even more mind-bending insights.
Oh, boy.
As we continue our deep dive into the Kybalion,
I'm ready.
Let's go! Welcome back. I hope you've had a chance to grab a cosmic smoothie because we're about to level up our understanding of the Kybalion.
Oh, yeah. My brain is still buzzing from that last segment. We talked about the universe being mental, using higher laws to overcome challenges.
Right.
And even Tony Stark as a master transmuter. Where do we go from here?
Let's talk about vibrating on higher planes. Now, before you picture us floating in tie-dye robes surrounded by crystals, let's ground this concept in a way that even a skeptic can appreciate.
Okay, because I'm picturing those robes right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they're my color.
Fair enough. Think of it this way. You know those people who just seem to radiate calmness?
Yeah.
Even when everything around them is chaotic. They're not ignoring the drama. They're just not letting it drag them down. That's vibrating at a higher frequency.
Okay, so it's more about mindset and energy than literal levitation.
Right.
It's like instead of getting caught up in the latest gossip or social media drama, you're focused on creating something meaningful, something that resonates with your soul.
Exactly. It's about aligning yourself with a higher purpose, even when the world feels like it's falling apart. Think of Frodo in Lord of the Rings. He's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, surrounded by temptation and darkness.
Yeah.
But he never loses sight of his mission.
Right.
Of his commitment to something bigger than himself. He's vibrating on a heroic frequency.
I love that analogy. So it's not about escaping reality. It's about choosing what you focus on.
Yes.
What you give your energy to. It's like tuning your radio to a station that plays uplifting music instead of doom and gloom news.
Precisely. And the Kybalion says that by raising our vibration, by aligning ourselves with these higher frequencies, we can actually start to influence the world around us.
Okay, hold on. Are we saying that my thoughts can actually change things? I mean, that's some serious, the secret territory.
Well, the secret took some liberties with these concepts. But the Kybalion does suggest that our thoughts have a creative power. Remember the principle of mentalism.
Yeah.
If the universe is fundamentally mental, then our thoughts are like the brushstrokes that paint the canvas of reality.
Okay, that's a pretty powerful image.
Yeah.
But I still have trouble wrapping my head around it. If everything is mental, does that mean nothing is real?
Now we're getting to the heart of the divine paradox. It's this dance between two truths, the absolute and the relative.
Okay, hit me with the philosophy 101. What are the absolute and the relative?
The absolute is like the view from the top of Mount Everest. You see the vastness of the landscape, the interconnectedness of everything. From that perspective, our individual lives, our worries, our dramas, they seem tiny, almost insignificant. It's the big picture view where everything is connected to this infinite source, the all.
So it's like realizing that our problems are just a drop in the cosmic ocean.
Exactly, but then we have the relative, which is like our everyday experience here in the valley. We feel the roughness of the rocks, the chill of the wind.
Yeah.
Our individual lives feel very real, very immediate.
So the absolute is like seeing the forest, and the relative is like focusing on a single tree.
Perfect analogy. And the Kybalion says that both perspectives are true. The absolute reminds us that everything is connected, that our individual lives are part of something much grander. But the relative reminds us that our experiences matter, that our choices have consequences, and that this life right here, right now, is the one we're living.
Okay, so it's not about choosing one perspective over the other. It's about holding both in mind.
Yeah.
Like a cosmic balancing act.
Precisely. The divine paradox is about embracing both the absolute and the relative, the cosmic and the everyday. The timeless and the timely.
How do we actually do that? It sounds like a recipe for an existential crisis.
Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. It's more about a shift in perspective than a complete overhaul of your life. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. At first, you're fumbling with the notes, trying to get your fingers to cooperate. But with practice, you start to develop muscle memory, you start to feel the rhythm, and eventually, the music starts to flow.
So it's about finding that rhythm between the absolute and the relative.
Yeah.
Between the big picture and the everyday details.
Exactly. And the Kybalion offers some practical tools to help us do just that. One of them is understanding the law of paradox itself.
Okay.
It sounds like a contradiction, but it's actually a key to unlocking a deeper level of understanding.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Yeah.
What is the law of paradox?
It's all about understanding that seemingly opposite forces are actually two sides of the same coin. Think of light and dark. They seem completely different, right? But without darkness, we wouldn't be able to appreciate light.
So it's like yin and yang, or like that quote from The Dark Knight. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Exactly. The law of paradox reminds us that everything exists in relation to its opposite. There's no good without bad, no up without down, no joy without sorrow.
So it's not about trying to eliminate the bad stuff, but about understanding how it relates to the good stuff. Like, how could we appreciate the beauty of a rainbow without the contrast of a stormy sky?
Precisely. And this applies to everything in life. We can't fully experience joy without knowing sorrow.
Right.
We can't achieve success without facing challenges. And we can't truly understand ourselves without acknowledging both our strengths and our weaknesses.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this law of paradox can be a powerful tool for navigating the ups and downs of life.
Yeah.
But how does it connect to the bigger picture?
Right.
To the absolute and the relative?
That's where things get really interesting. Stay tuned because we're about to dive even deeper into the Kybalion's wisdom.
We are back. I feel like we've gone through philosophy boot camp. We've talked about the universe being mental, the power of transmutation, the dance between the absolute and the relative. What other mind-bending stuff is in store for us as we finish up this deep dive?
Okay, so get this. The Kybalion says that even though the universe is a mental creation, it's still, like, incredibly real and meaningful.
Okay, my brain is already hurting. How can something be both a mental projection and real at the same time?
Remember that analogy we talked about earlier, comparing the universe to a video game? The game world is just code, but it feels so real to the player who's immersed in it.
Right. I get that the game world is real to the player.
Yeah.
But it's still just pixels on a screen.
Right.
It's not like they can reach out and touch the characters or feel the wind in their hair or anything.
True. But let's take it a step further. Imagine a virtual reality game so advanced that it simulates all of your senses. Touch, taste, smell, everything. Suddenly the line between the virtual and the real
Gets blurry.
starts to blur, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see where you're going with this. If the simulation is sophisticated enough, the player might not even be able to tell the difference.
Exactly. And the Kybalion suggests that our experience of the universe might be something like that, a highly immersive simulation created by the mind of the all. But just because it's a mental projection doesn't mean it's any less real or meaningful to us.
So we're basically living in the ultimate virtual reality game, but it's so convincing that we think it's the only reality.
That's a great way to put it. And here's the kicker. Even if we could step outside of this cosmic simulation and see it for what it truly is, it wouldn't diminish the value of our experiences within it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light. Or maybe it's just a cosmic glitch in the matrix. So it's not about denying the mental nature of the universe, but about recognizing that our experiences within it are still incredibly real and meaningful to us.
Precisely. Think of it like this. You're watching a movie that you find deeply moving. You laugh, you cry, you feel a whole range of emotions. But at the end of the day, it's just a story projected onto a screen. Does that make your experience any less valid?
Not at all.
Right.
I mean, I might know it's just a movie.
Right.
But that doesn't stop me from getting completely engrossed in the story. It's the same with a great book or a piece of music. It can transport me to another world, even if I know it's just an artistic creation.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the divine paradox. It allows us to hold both perspectives in mind simultaneously. We can acknowledge that the universe is a mental projection, a cosmic dream, but we can also appreciate the richness and depth of our experiences within it.
So it's like saying that even though the universe is a stage, the play is still worth watching.
Beautifully put. And the Kybalion reminds us that we have a role to play in this cosmic drama.
Okay.
We're not just passive observers, we're active participants. And our choices, our thoughts, our actions all contribute to the unfolding of the story.
So even though we might be living in a cosmic simulation, we still have free will. We still have the power to shape our experiences and influence the world around us.
Absolutely. Remember the concept of transmutation we talked about earlier. That's all about using our understanding of the mental laws to transform challenges into opportunities, to create something new and beautiful out of the raw materials of life.
So it's not about denying the reality of our challenges.
No.
But about using them as fuel for growth and transformation.
Precisely. And this is where the true power of the Kybalion's teachings comes in. It's not just about understanding the mental nature of the universe, it's about using that knowledge to become more conscious creators of our own reality.
Hey, that's starting to make sense. But I still have one nagging question. If the universe is a mental projection, does that mean there's no such thing as objective truth? Is everything just a matter of perspective?
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of the philosophical debate between idealism and realism. But from a Kybalion perspective, the answer is a bit more nuanced.
Okay, hit me with the nuance. I'm feeling ready to handle a little philosophical complexity.
Well, the Kybalion suggests that there is an ultimate truth, a source of all creation, which it calls the all. But our human minds are limited, and we can only perceive this ultimate truth through the filters of our own experiences and beliefs.
So it's like looking at a distant star through a telescope. We can see the light, but our view is distorted by the limitations of the instrument.
Exactly. And each of us is holding a different kind of telescope, shaped by our unique experiences, beliefs, and perspectives. So while there may be an objective truth out there, our perception of it is always subjective.
That makes sense. It's like that saying, we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are.
Precisely. But here's the good news. Even though we may never fully grasp the ultimate truth, we can still strive to expand our understanding, to refine our telescopes, and to get a clearer view of the cosmic landscape.
So it's a journey of continuous learning and growth, of challenging our assumptions and expanding our perspectives.
Absolutely. And the Kybalion encourages us to embrace this journey with curiosity, wonder, and a sense of adventure. It's about seeing the world as a mystery to be explored, a puzzle to be solved, a game to be played with skill and enthusiasm.
Wow, what an incredible journey this has been. We started with the mind-bending idea that the universe is mental, and we've ended up with a deeper appreciation for the beauty, complexity, and ultimately, the mystery of existence.
It's been a wild ride, for sure. And I hope you, dear listener, are leaving with a renewed sense of possibility, a spark of curiosity, and a desire to continue exploring the hidden depths of your own mind and the universe around you.
Absolutely. So to wrap things up, here's the key takeaway. The universe may be a mental projection, but that doesn't make our experiences any less real or meaningful. We have the power to shape our reality, to overcome challenges, and to create something beautiful and meaningful out of the raw materials of life.
Trust the process, embrace the mystery, and never stop exploring. The journey is the destination, and the universe is waiting to be discovered.
And that concludes our deep dive into the Kybalion's divine paradox. We hope you've enjoyed the ride, and we encourage you to keep exploring these concepts and see how they can enrich your own life. Until next time, keep your mind open, your heart curious, and your spirit soaring.